Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera.
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Kumusta po kayo? No, it's another Friday morning and another episode of Wellness Check. Ayan. Holiday po today dahil it's Ninoy Aquino Day. Pero kahit holiday, no, sama-sama tayo dito sa ating Wellness Check series at live po tayo ngayon sa DepEd Philippines Facebook page. Ito ay hatid pa rin sa inyo ng Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, Bureau of Human Resources and Organizational Development Employee Welfare Division, at ng National Educators Academy of the Philippines. Katuwang po ang Public Affairs Service. Ito po ay mga opisina sa DepEd, sa Department of Education. Kasama niyo pa rin po ako, si Joan Yamado, mula po sa DRRMS. Ayan, mga moms and sirs, bago po tayo dumako sa ating main event today, no? Kung nais nyo pong malaman ang line-up ng mga episode natin for our Wellness Check Series Season 2, iscan nyo po ang QR code na makikita nyo po sa inyong screen. Ayan, scan nyo lang po yan para ma-check nyo po kung ano pa ba ang mga susunod at interesting topics natin sa ating Wellness Check episode. Kaya naman, wellness, check na po ba tayo? Ayan. Kung check na po tayo, no, tara na at simulan na natin ang ating wellness check discussion ngayong umaga. Okay, so ayan. Bago po ang lahat, no, balikan po natin yung ating previous episode, no. Last week may mga nakasama tayong mga bisita, no, mula sa ating partners, ang Globe Telecom, Inquirer.net, Nolly, Solly.ph, at Prin.ph, no? Dahil meron silang programang #Start a New Day. Let's talk about mental health. Ayan. So sa episode po na ito, no, napag-usapan yung iba't ibang psychosocial concerns like yun nga, yung stress, anxiety, and depression, no, na talaga naman po nararanasan natin sa kasalukuyan dahil meron tayong pandemyang kinakaharap. At na-mention din po yung iba't ibang paraan para ma-address po itong mga concerns na ito. Kagaya ng encouraging social connectedness, pag-set ng boundaries at pagiging example, no? Kaya naging maganda po talaga yung discussion natin dahil ito ay para talaga sa ating mga guro dahil kayo po ang best examples, no, sa ating mga learners para sa positivity at digital detoxification. So, na-mention din nga doon ang kaibahan ng toxic positivity sa genuine positivity. Ayan, nagbigay din sila ng self-care checklist, no? So, ayan, eto nga, pinag-usapan din na, do I feel safe, confident? Are my basic needs met? Am I living my best life? And do I feel like I belong? So yan daw ang mga kailangan natin i-check para sa ating self-care. And of course, pinaalalahanan din tayo, no, na sa mga bagay na dapat nating isaalang-alang, kagaya ng there's no health without mental health. Hindi lang dapat no, yung kinakain natin, yung binabantayan natin, yung katawan natin, kundi pati na din yung ating mental health. Okay, and ito po, refrain from calling people with psychosocial concerns. So ito talaga yung ano ngayon, no? Kahit meron na tayong mental health law, at talamak pa din yung stigma no, na nararanasan po ng mga taong merong kinakaharap na challenge on mental health. And of course, no, negative emotions doesn't mean you have mental disorder agad-agad. Kaya nga po, napakahalaga na pag meron tayong nararamdaman, maganda po na ikonsulta natin ito sa eksperto. So, huwag may hiyang pumunta po sa or lumapit sa ating mga clinical psychologist para matulungan tayo. And of course, ito po, health is a state of physical, mental, and social well-being. Kasi ito talaga yung definition na ibinigay ng World Health Organization sa kung ano pa yung health. So holistic ito. Okay, so ayan, tandaan po natin lagi na kapag hindi natin nagawa na i-acknowledge ang mga negative emotions natin, ito naman talaga ang lagi nating ina-underscore dito sa ating wellness check series, ito ay mag-lead sa toxic positivity or mga emosyon na hindi nakakatulong sa atin or sa ating kapwa. Okay, so ayan po. Eto, maraming salamat po sa mga naging kasama natin last week sa Globe Telecom, sa Inquirer.net, Philippine Daily Inquirer, Nolly.Solly page, Print PH at Philippine Mental Health Association. Okay, and of course kay Miss Alec Del Rosario na siya pong may gawa nitong ating recap material. Okay, so ayan. Mga kasama sa Department of Education, reminders po tayo na kung meron po kayong mga katanungan, may gusto kayong iparating sa amin, wag po kayong mahihiyang i-share ito sa amin by commenting po sa ating comment section following po the format that you will see in your screen. So ayan, please type in your name, the name of your regions, division, or school, and your question or your comment. And of course, share niyo din po sa amin ang inyong mga saloobin para ma-improve pa natin ating wellness check episodes. Ayan, sagutan niyo po ang ating evaluation form at the end of our session. And of course po, i-share niyo po ang ating wellness check episode sa inyong mga kaibigan sa DepEd at kahit na sa mga hindi taga DepEd kasi malaking tulong ito sa kanila, lalo na po ngayong mga panahong ito. And of course, ito pong ating Wellness Check Series Season 2 ay part ng ating training. So you have to, or please search DepEd Task Force COVID-19 Memorandum number 72 para po makita nyo itong memo na ito. Kasi napakahalaga po nito. Ito ang magiging guide nyo para malaman ko ano nga ba talaga, para saan ba talaga itong Wellness Check Series Season 2 natin. Okay? So ayan, pwede nyo pong balikan din ang mga episodes ng Wellness Check Series Season 1 and Season 2, and of course, Stronger from Home, sa DepEd Philippines Facebook page. Punta lamang po kayo sa mga playlist nito para mabalikan nyo ang mga previous episodes. Kasi baka may gusto kayong linawin, may mga bagay na gusto nyong balikan, Pwedeng-pwede po yan. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so ano po ba ang topic natin ngayon, Yan. Ang topic po natin ngayon ay tungkol sa yoga. Dahil ito po yung binibigay natin sa inyo every Thursday sa Stronger from Home. So ayan, nakapanood po ba kayo or sumasali po ba kayo sa mga yoga sessions ng Stronger from Home? Okay, kumusta po ang naging experience nyo? Sana po naging maganda ang experience nyo sa ating Stronger from Home episodes. Okay, so ayan. Kung nanonood po kayo Eto po, sige nga, magkaroon tayo ng interaction. Kung nanonood po kayo ng ating Stronger from Home at Wellness Check Series episodes, pwede po bang type 1? Please send us 1. Okay. So ayan, no, ito nga po talaga ang mahirap ngayon, no? Na online tayo. Syempre yung interaction natin very limited. So ayan, iparating nyo lamang po um, ang inyong pag-ayon sa aking sinabi by typing 1. Okay, para po yes na yes tayo. Okay, salamat po sa mga nanonood ng previous episode natin. At sa mga hindi naman po, no, pwede nyo mapanood ulit ito, kagaya ng nasabi ko sa inyo kanina. Ayan, okay. So, ready na po ba kayo? Check na po ba kayo? Okay, kung check na kayo, ayan, simulan na natin ang ating episode ngayong umaga na Yoga, Improving Health and Wellness. So ang makakasama po natin ngayon ay si Miss Vita Marie Bagayan, ang founder ng Vitality Yoga at author ng upcoming book entitled Wisdom from Yogi, 9 Secrets to Health, Happiness. Good morning, Ma'am Vita! Kasama din po natin ngayon ang ating friend psychologist mula sa Psychological Association of the Philippines, ni Maropa Calabarzon, Professor Yeng Gatchalian. Good morning, Ma'am Yeng. Okay, so kumusta po kayo ngayong umaga? Ayan. Good morning po. Ayan. Ma'am Yang, hindi po namin kayo marinig.
Good morning, everyone. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Rise and Shine, Department of Education, Philippines.
Good morning, Ma'am Vita. Rise and shine. Good morning po. Rise and shine, mga teachers.
Yes. Welcome to our wellness series, wellness check series rather. And maraming salamat sa ating mga partners, di ba? Ang ating mga partner na laging sumusuporta sa atin sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng magandang programa tungkol sa health at wellness, particularly po sa ngayong araw o ngayong this time of how we are experiencing things, hindi po ba? Kailangan natin ito.
Yes.
Maraming salamat sa pag-invite din po sa akin.
Yun. Maraming salamat din po, Ma'am Vita, sa pagpapaunlak. Ayan, kasama din natin si Professor Yeng Gatchalian. Good morning, Ma'am Yeng.
Hello, good morning. Naririnig na ba ako?
Yes po, naririnig na namin kayo. At napakaganda ng iyong hardin.
Oh, syempre, nasa Puerto Princesa ako. Oo, salamat. Ito ay hardin sa resort, sang resort sa Puerto Princesa. Dang Marias. Pinopromote talaga, di ba?
Of course, ayan.
Umaga sa inyong lahat. Excited ako sa topic ngayon kasi ang tagal, alam mo, goal that I cannot unlock. Na hindi ko na magawa. So baka ito na. Ayun. Good morning, everyone.
Ayan. Po, holiday po ngayon, no? Ito, meron tayong mensahe dito mula kay Ms. Ariete de la Vega ng SDO Caloocan City, no? Salamat sa DepEd kahit holiday today, nagbibigay ng wellness check assistance sa aming mga teaching personnel. Ayan, of course, dahil alam namin, no, na kailangan to ngayong panahon nito. And of course, mahalaga po kayong mga teachers sa DepEd. Mahalaga kayo. Kaya mahalaga tayong lahat. Kaya kailangan natin alagaan ang ating sarili. Ayan. So mga viewers natin, hello sa inyo. Okay, so ayan, magsimula na po tayo ng pag-uusapan natin. Ayun. Bakit ba ako nagaganito? Namaste. Ayan. Ito po, Miss Vita. Una nating tanong, no? Kasi siguro hindi ito, curious naman ang lahat, no, na malaman ito. Ano po ba talaga ang yoga? Ano po itong practice na ito?
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Joan. Alam mo, madami tayong misconception about yoga. Iniisip natin na ang yoga para lang sa mga taong flexible, bata, payat, kasi ito yung pinoportray sa ating media, di ba? Kaya lahat tayo sinasabi, kaya ko ba yan? Hindi ko yan kaya. Actually, kung titignan mo talaga ang meaning ng yoga o ano ba talaga ang yoga, it's actually not just a physical practice, but it's also a spiritual practice. So kaya sinasabi natin na hindi lang it's para sa isang population, kundi para sa lahat. Bata, matanda, payat, mataba, maganda, gwapo, whoever you are, yoga is for all. Ano ba talaga itong yoga? Yoga is actually, it started 5,000 years ago. And in India. And actually it's spread all over the world. Pero it's in India that started the whole practice of it. And the founder, of course, as well, also started this practice. And if you look at the basic definition of yoga, it's basically meaning, in Sanskrit, it means union or yoking. So yoking of what? Union of what? The mind and the body. So it's actually a practice of not just involving our physical body, it also involves our mind. And if you look at the principles of yoga, kasi ngayon ang nakikita natin puro physical practice lang, yung mga poses lang. And that's only one tiny aspect of yoga. Actually, there are a lot of aspects of yoga. The 8 principles that we follow in yoga, and one of them is breathing. So yung last na topic natin, if you remember, we talk about breathing.
Yes.
And because that is the foundation of our practice. So when we talk of yoga, it's not just about the physical exercises, but it's also about sitting down. Actually, the meaning of yoga is actually sitting down and really getting inside you. The main essence of yoga is actually it's within, it's inside, going back to the inside of you, not externally. Because what tends to happen in this day and age is that we look for external things that will satisfy or that will help us come down. But actually, it's readily available inside us. And one of that is breath, and one of that is practice.
So, Miss Vita, is yoga the same with mindfulness? Because we have discussed mindfulness in our previous episodes.
Yes. So it's a practice of mindfulness. It's one of the practice. So when we speak about mindfulness, this is not new to any one of us. Mindfulness is just creating more awareness of what we have in front of us, or who we are and what we do. So, kasi what's happening now is that we're so bombarded with so much notifications on our phones. According to studies, 1 hour of your day is only spent on Facebook. Imagine how many apps do we have on our phones. So most of the time, our life is in constant what we call that sympathetic overdrive, as we call. So ito yung laging nati-trigger yung sympathetic nervous system natin, yung fight or flight. Lagi tayong nagmamadali, lagi tayong rush. What's happening is that our heart rate starts to increase, our breath starts to increase. So, but our body is not designed to be in that way. Our body is designed to be in homeostasis or balance. So that's why now mindfulness is now becoming, it's not a new trend. It's actually been here for a long, long time, and it's been practiced a long, long time, but a lot of Eastern, medicine. But when it moved to the West, it just became heightened because of their lifestyle. And I think all of us are now experiencing that kind of stress. So it's a practice of mindfulness as well.
Oh, that's good to know. So ayan, mga sensors, no? Ayan, yoga is one of the practice of mindfulness. Kaya baka gusto nyo i-consider ito kasi we have so many iba-ibang mindfulness practice, and it's up to you kung ano talaga yung haswak sa inyo. So maganda itong discussion natin talaga on yoga para mas lalong maintindihan natin ito. Okay, sige. Ayan, parang may gustong sabihin si Ma'am Yeng.
Oh, actually, ako na timely talaga kasi a few days back, nanonood kami ng TV. Tapos yung isang scene nung napanood namin was yung babae, nakaharap siya sa window and she was doing that. On the window, facing outside. So nakaganyan siya. And then my husband said, dapat nagkaganyan ka eh. Sabi ko, alin? Yan o, yoga. So, parang, matagal ko na talagang gusto. Kaya lang, syempre, di ba, minsan you would see yung nakabaliktad. And that's, I understand, I know, no, yung sinabi ni Miss Vita that Ganito talaga usually yung perception ng mga tao. And there are many yogas that we have been hearing, like my wet yoga, my dry yoga, etc. For whatever, as we know, it's really mindfulness kasi it keeps you focused within. No? And as we know, the principle of mindfulness is to focus on your within, to understand your body, to talk to your body, to talk to everything about your body. So, with yoga, ganun yung alam ko na ginagawa. And aside from those mentioned, ang ganda-ganda talaga ng yoga. Kasi yung mga kilala ko rin na nag-yoga, pararamdaman mo sa kanila na meron talagang, alam mo yon parang merong aura na ang gaang-gaang, no? Like what I see now. Yan si Miss Vita. She looks very, very fresh, very relaxed, no? Like how we see people who are also used in doing mindfulness in any sorts, no? And alam nyo, napaka-powerful ng yoga kasi in studies that are published by the American Psychological Association, they even recommend it as psychotherapy, as a form of psychotherapy. Like for example, yung mga may mga pinagdadaanan, and instead of undergoing mga psychotherapy like dialectic, yung mga ibang mga ginagawa namin modalities, kinompare doon sa nag-yoga, nakita yung better progression and improvement of those who are doing yoga. And even those who are suffering from anxiety, depression, nakita nila because they conducted an experiment, people who suffer from anxiety, pinagbasa sila, they had this moment of reading because as we know, studies show that reading is also very powerful and, mind relaxation, ganyan. So nagbasa. Yung isang group was subjected to doing yoga. And it turned out that yoga, those who did yoga was able to secrete more GABA. GABA is a neurotransmitter that helps. It's gamma aboxynucleic ayan na, acid. Yan. It's an acid. It's a neurotransmitter that is that's secreted by the brain that can help deplete or decrease anxiety or any negative emotion because it has an effect uh, on our limbic system, yan yung ating mga emotions, no? That are guided by the brain. So, nagsisecrete ang brain ng GABA fighting anxiety. Parang gano'n, nag-decrease yung anxiety level natin. And when it was done under experiment, nakita that those who do yoga have more power to secrete GABA. Kaya bumababa yung anxiety. So yung binabanggit ni Miss Vita, di ba? Parang, wow, kumbaga parang i-compare mo siya, oo, meron siya talagang matinding effect sa brain in itself, no? The brain in itself affecting, of course, our behavior, our feelings, our emotions. Yan. Kaya ang powerful talaga pala ng yoga, no? Kasi imagine pati even the American Psychological Association believes that this can be a powerful tool in treating depression and anxiety, which is what we need right now. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. In addition to what Doc Yang was saying, is that meron ding study na sa Stanford University, when I was researching about breathing and yoga and I was doing my talk, I found out that meron tayong mga soldiers ngayon na pinadala sa Iraq, sa States, pinadala sa Iraq, pinadala sa Afghanistan. And after they came back, they suffered from PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. What happened is that they now took them, like what Doc Yang was saying, they took them to a therapy. They gave them medication and all of different things that would help them decrease the PTSD symptoms. So what happened is that after a year of taking medication, still nandun pa rin yung kanyang PTSD symptoms, and it didn't go away. And the stigma attached as well going to a therapy is not really good. So they decided to start giving them a different kind of therapy, which is a yoga and breathing therapy. And now what happened is that they took them, so they started attending 3 weeks lang. 3 weeks lang sila nag-attend, 21 hours. And when that happened, ang nangyari is bumaba yung kanyang PTSD symptoms. And even looking at it at the longevity of the study, maski nung 1 year, na tinignan nila how they're progressing still. all the PTSD symptoms had gone down. So I guess it's really worth it to look at, what is really going on in our body when we practice yoga, and what is really happening in our bodies and our brain. What I was researching this when I was doing this, my research on yoga and breathing technique, I noticed that many of them are saying that, look at it as not just as a tip of the iceberg. So look at it as a pyramid. And what we're seeing now is just the tip of the pyramid. Yung mga poses, yung mga malalakas na they can do their inversions, yung ulo nasa baba. That's just the tip of what you see. But actually the base, if you look at the base of the practice of yoga, there's a lot of it now is helping us in our brain, and the it's creating a different pathway as well in our brains, helping us to cope in challenging times. What is really happening in the practice of yoga is that when you practice yoga, you go through different series of challenges, and you're being asked to focus on one thing. You're being asked to focus on your breathing. And what happened to us when we start, stretching, activating our sympathetic nervous system, the body starts increasing our heart rate. But then as we relax, it's again they mimic they work together with the parasympathetic nervous system in the brain, and so it helps the body relax. So they work hand in hand. So translating that to the real life, if we apply what we're doing in our yoga mats and applying that to real life where we're being faced with challenges, what tends to happen is we breathe really shallow, and we start getting our heart rate increasing. But then when you apply what you're doing in the yoga practice, you already know that, okay, I just need to take a deep breath like I'm doing in yoga, and you go through different challenges. So I'm really encouraging people to try, at least 10 minutes a day, or once a week will do, and then you gradually.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Vita, kasi I tried to practice yoga before, but I stopped because of my back. I am just curious in this. Are there different types of yoga?
There are different types. Definitely, there are indeed. There are different types of yoga. There's so many types of yoga nowadays that you can choose whatever type is suitable for you. But I would suggest for someone who's just starting their practice, go for something that's relaxing. Go for something like restorative yoga. Something that is calming. Something I myself teach that kind of yoga because I believe that we're already stressed outside our work. We're already stressed outside our lives, and we don't need something to stress us while we're doing our yoga practice. So we don't need a practice that that consistently increase our heart rate and breathing. Because we're already doing that outside. But it's once you practice that, I guarantee you're gonna look at something that's challenging. So because that's the beauty of practicing yoga, because it doesn't just stop there. It's a continuous practice. And then when you say there are different kinds of yoga, one of them is restorative yoga. I really, for me personally, I recommend this for all of us, especially if you're trying to just, skeptical about yoga, trying to, see what it is. And it's a very kind of calming and relaxing kind of practice. And it's very passive as well. No need, we use so many yoga props. So makita mo marami tayong unan, may kumot, may mga blocks kasi we don't want to use so much muscle strength. The reason of this practice is for us to really calm down and tap into, again, our rest and digest, our parasympathetic nervous system. Because, again, when we are in constant overdrive with our sympathetic nervous system, what tends to happen is that ma-exhaust tayo. We are going to get really tired. And we don't want that to happen. We want to come out strongly when we're more calm and relaxed. Our creativity comes out. We have more rational way of deciding things. techniques. We have a different outlook in life. That's why I like recommending restorative. Another one is yin yoga. Yin yoga naman is you hold poses for a while, but you just calm and relax. So for starter, restorative is really good. Yin, if you want a little bit more different, those kind of things. There's vinyasa class. Now there's goat yoga as well. Kuha ka ng isang mga goat. may goat yoga na ngayon, I haven't tried it myself. Marami ng different kinds of yoga, but when you look at yung mga basic, meron like Ashtanga practice, which is a rigorous kind of practice as well. Vinyasa is like a dance kind of yoga where you just synchronize. Yes, so you just synchronize your breath with the flow, with the different kind of poses. So So what tends to happen is what I always say to my clients, my students who attend the class is that I want to modify the class for you, because there's no pose. It's not like one size fits all kind of practice. It's actually it's not exclusive as well. It's inclusive. So look for a teacher and look for a class that you feel is good for your body. And that's the main thing why we practice yoga, because it's about how yoga fits in our body.
So it's like a scavenger hunt, no? You really look for the practice or the type of yoga that will suit you. Okay, so ito naman, yes po, Ma'am Yang.
Alam mo, when I was younger, many years ago, one of the things that we thought, what yoga was yung lulutang ka. Because I remember
actually,
that kind of yoga. Because I had a professor at the time who was practicing yoga. At the time, I believed he was practicing yoga. Now, parang hindi ko alam kung totoo yun. Pero, at the time, I believe he was. Then he was teaching us to do yoga. And then, sabi niya, kailangan lumutang daw kami. So parang, ang bigat ko, so paano ako lulutang? And then he said, it really entails so much focus on your body. So in time, you will float. That's the goal of yoga. That's what he told me. And as I was growing up, I realized, hindi pala talaga ganun si yoga. Tapos lalo na ngayon that I'm hearing it from you, that talaga, if please correct me if I'm wrong, but the basic principle, one of the basic principle of yoga is to focus within.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what kind of yoga you're doing, whether you're dancing, which I get so interested in that. No? Yung sinasabi mo kanina, Miss Vita, no? Parang gusto ko siya. Pero yun nga, it's really focusing on yourself. Diba? Parang the capacity for you to concentrate. So if that is the basic principle of yoga plus the breathing, talagang patok na patok siya ngayong mga panahong ito. Kasi many of us are experiencing negative emotions. And when you experience negative emotion, the tendency is for us to breathe hastily. Chugug, di ba? And that actually precipitates, reinforces negative emotion. Kasi nakita sa mga studies na one perfect way to regulate your emotion is to calibrate your breathing and slow it down, just like what Miss Vita was saying. Kaya kung sa mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon, ang ganda mong pag-isipan na simulan natin gumawa nito, no? Kasi yung power nung putting them all together to the exercise of breathing, to focusing, which we need nowadays. Kasi sa dami ng concerns natin, yung mga special concerns, nakakalimutan na. Ganda, perfect. Hindi lang pala ito sa paglutang. So, tanggalin natin yung gano'n nating iniisip, no? Misconception on yoga na ito ay para lumutang ka. Ayan, thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Ma'am Yang. No? So, ayan nga, napakaganda talagang i-consider din natin itong practice. No? Katulad nga ng nasabi ni Ma'am Yang, this is very timely. So, ito po, Ms. Vita, no? For those who want to start the practice of yoga. So, ano ba yung kailangan po para makapagsimula ng pagka-practice ng yoga? Ano ba yung kailangan gawin?
That's a very, very good question. alam mo, totoo yan. Kasi when people start, you know, their yoga practice, and sabi nila, ano ba yung mga kailangan ko? Kailangan mo bumili ito, kailangan mo bumili niyan. That's consumerism, you know.
Yoga mat.
They're now, they are now hyping up on you to buy more things. Buy this yoga clothing. It looks good on you.
Yes.
Actually,
The
actually,
yoga
it's
mat and even the
it's just very
Yes.
simple. What you need is yourself, your dedication. Because once you, I have a lot of clients. They say, gusto ko mag-yoga. Dami na binili, you know, this kind of thing. Then you don't see them, you know, they just, you know, fade away, fizzle off after that. Once you, what you need is yourself, your dedication. It takes a decision, because this is your lifestyle, this is your practice, and this is one thing that will help you to improve your health and well. Why not invest in it? If not now, when? So what you need is yourself. So if you look at other stuff, yes, we need a good mat, something, you know, that helps you not to slip, para di ka madulas. You know, madami tayong different kinds of mats na hindi lang yung mga expensive. There are some good quality mats as well that we can buy. You know, if you're just starting, get something that's you can afford. That's okay. You don't need to buy an expensive one. With clothing, okay na yung mga comfortable clothing natin. You know, when yoga was started, wala nga silang mga ano eh. Hindi nga sila naka-tights eh. So, what I'm trying to say is that just, you know, simple stuff. Kailangan mo lang ng mat. And then later on, you invest on some things that you can, you know, you can use, like yoga props, you know, yung mga yoga blocks natin, yung mga pillow na kailangan. But we can always modify, because what I want to share, or what I wanted to say, is that I want it to be readily accessible to everyone. Kahit nasa bahay ka, maglatag ka lang ng mat. Huwag ka lang ng isang quiet space mo, your room, sa bedroom, so sa small office. You know, you can just do one pose at a time. That's it. No need to, you know, be fussy about it. Hindi kailangan ng 1 hour. Kailangan ako magpawis. Kailangan pawis na pawis ako. Hindi po. Hindi po kailangan na the main idea and the main essence of why we practice yoga is to quiet our mind, to really come back to ourselves, which is, you know, Dr. Yang is always repeating it all the time. It's just so true. It's always coming back to us, within us, because the main where you get your strength. I really love the talk from I forgot her name, Dr. Shay, about strength, which is so good, because it build not just physical strength, but it helps you to build your internal strength. You know, how do you deal with these mental challenges if you don't have all these tools? So use it as a tool for you to, you know, to move one step ahead. I always say this, kung yung phone mo nga nag-upgrade ng 2.0 at kung ano-anong upgrade, ba't di mo i-upgrade din yung sarili mo? So try to, you know, use all these tools that we're sharing, breathing, yoga practice. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be, you know, a lot of things. Yoga mat is good. Kung wala kang yoga mat ngayon at gusto mo na mag-practice, huwag ka ng thick towel, start that. May carpet ka sa bahay, just start doing that. Marami tayong free videos as well. I created some free videos on I started doing my YouTube channel now, because I wanted to share the practice of yoga to everyone. So you can just, you know, do it on the one press of your phone. So yun lang, yoga mat. If you wala kang yoga mat ngayon,
So,
just
there's no need for them to enroll in a yoga class, because here in Manila there are so many yoga studios.
Yes. Look, if you want to enroll, go and enroll as well. Get a teacher that will help you, you know, to train, and that will, you know, help you develop. And if you feel like, kasi usually ang the issue that I'm facing now is marami tayong ayaw mag-enroll kasi nahihiya sila kasi baka ganito, baka hindi ko kaya. Alam mo, marami silang, you know, we have a lot of excuses that we build around us. Naku, meron akong back pain, ganyan. Naku, hindi ko kaya yung mga ganyan. So, like I said, yeah, o like I said, naku, matanda na ako, sobrang tanda ko na, baka maputol yung mga butot ko, mga ganyan. Marami tayong mga misconception. Naku, baka mabalian ko ng buto ko. I have a lot of people saying that. Again, look for someone that resonates. Look for someone who understands your needs, and not just someone you go and just, okay, go do this, do that. No, look for someone that resonates, you, understands your health, understands your background, what are your needs, what are your health goals. And enroll to a teacher that also does that too, and find a teacher that resonates and understands. That's it.
Thank you for that, Mavita. No? So, ayan, kasi ako po, like what I've said earlier, I practiced before, but I stopped because I have lumbar problem. No? Pero, ano, are there yoga exercises for those with physical condition or with injury?
Definitely po. The more now we have to engage in an exercise that's suitable for us. There are poses actually that is good for lower back pain. So I don't know your condition really. Maybe we can talk, off cam. There are poses that relieves those, aches and pains on our back. I have teachers. Meron akong teacher sa DepEd. She's one of my really consistent student, because it helps her to practice yoga. So all my experience on the benefits of yoga, I look at the study, but I look at the effect on the actual people I'm dealing with. And one of them is saying that, you know what, nakatanggal yung back pain ko. So, sinasabi niya, kahit daw nasa classroom siya, at my break, she takes her yoga mat with her. I'm sure she's listening now because it's naka-holiday. And what she does the child's pose. Yung nakahiga,
Yeah.
she just puts her arms. Sabi niya, I just do this. It calms me down. It helps on my lower back. Mas natatanggal yung lower back pain. And one of the things I do with my clients as well, we do wall. We harness the power of wall. So, hindi mo kailangan ng, di ba, lahat tayo madingding, lahat tayo may hard surface like this. So what I do to them, especially if masakit yung back niya, and again, I don't want to remove the aspect of, going to a doctor as well, because we are in partners with doctors, and we want to work hand in hand, wellness and doctors as well. We go hand in hand together. So if you have a back pain that's really strong and it doesn't go away and it's very, very painful, you have to seek for doctor's advice. And again, itong yoga is actually one tool that you can use if it relieves the back pain, relieves symptoms. Kasi wala kang titake na gamot, you just have to be present there. So what I do is I ask them to bring their feet all the way up, and I make sure that the hip, their lower back is really flat on the ground. And we just do that for an hour, few minutes. Of one full class, I do it for 60 minutes. And and we change from a simple pose. I try to put support on their back. And if you do it, what I noticed that if you do it consistently, if you do this classes consistently, and if the poses is right for you, for what you're actually feeling at the moment, or whatever aches and pains, and how you do it is correct, the alignment of how you do it, proper positioning, I'm sure that all those aches and pains are gone, because most of the time, this is just muscles and ligaments that just are strained most of the time, especially now we're working home or working at home or sitting on our
Yes.
on our chair. So mangyayari decompress yung ating spine. So hindi natin nagagalaw. Ngayon, I encourage you to do chair yoga. Kasi since, okay, wala akong time mag-yoga, wala akong mat, that's okay. Let's use the chair.
Vita, can you show it to us para malaman din natin yan?
Let's follow.
Yes, we will.
How's that?
Yeah, okay, let's do it now. So actually, I created like a 30-minute video. I could share it to you guys. I'll share it on one of the comments later on, so you can look
Sure,
at.
sure.
Yeah. So para you can just do it at home. So you can do it now. So what we can do, just, say for example, you're sitting on your computer all day. Sorry, maingay yung chair ko. So one thing that we can do, kasi yung 30 minutes na yun, I started with the quieting the mind, I started with the breathing. So maybe wala kang 30 minutes. So meron ka lang 10 minutes. So what you can do from your chair, so come and sit on your chair all the way to your back. Relax. Close your eyes. Bring your palms all the way down. And come and relax your shoulders. And see if you can begin to feel your feet to the ground. And as you close your eyes, begin to relax your face. Begin to relax your shoulders. Begin to relax your belly. Begin to relax your hip. Feel the ground all the way down. The soles of your feet. And just take one deep breath here. Maybe you begin to feel your belly with your hands by bringing one hand to your belly. As you breathe in, breathe as deep as you can from the diaphragm. And then exhale all the way out. And just begin to slowly open your eyes, allowing everything to just come back to the present moment. From here, you're gonna come and just slowly reach your hands all the way up. That's it. Maybe you come and rest your back to your chair. Maybe you come and feel the feet. Feel your feet to the ground. Reaching as much. Imagine your spine is just elongating, lengthening as much. And then exhale, gonna come and slowly release the arms and bring it all the way to the side. One thing that I really like doing as well is come and twist. So maybe as you're restricted, but I'm gonna move a little bit. So, so maybe you come and sit a little bit at the edge of your chair. So one thing is natin is we come and twist. So one of the things that we do in yoga is we twist. So you can use the chair to twist. So we start with our right hand, just bring your hand all the way to the back of your chair, and then bring your left hand all the way just on top of your knee, and just come to twist them. It's fine. Inhale. And then maybe you come and twist a little bit. So if you're doing this at home and you're practicing it, you really experience it, because in yoga it's not more of just looking at it. It's more of really experiencing the practice. So you can do this. Just twist. That's it, and then come back to the center. Move the feet. And then inhale, come back to the center. That's one thing that you move. And then one thing that you can do is you can use your chair as well. So if I stand up, I'll show you a good way to stretch. So come to the front of your chair, bring your hands on top of your chair, and just come and really stretch it. So move your hip all the way. Especially pag nasa office ka, working from home, wala kang time to exercise, you can just do this. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. That's it. Ilang poses na tayo? 3 poses. Using the chair. When you're working from home, and then you can
Very
go back
simple.
very, very simple. No need for, I'm wearing a dress, sorry. Akala ko ano lang tayo. But yes, I'll share you the link. You can really look at, even kung halimbawa, okay, wala kang masyadong magandang chair, hindi comfortable yung chair mo, gumagalaw siya. So just make sure na hindi rickety yung chair mo. You can use the wall. You can do the same thing. Push, allow, and then just stretch. That's it. Very simple. Very, very simple thing. No need for, all this extra stuff. And if you want to do more, you can use the chair again to do some balancing poses. If you want to just this, kasi most of the time we're just restricted to one. Kaya marami tayong shoulder pain, frozen shoulder, because we're just sitting down our computer and sometimes check, are you still breathing? you know? um,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember in the UK, it's NHS, National Health Service. One of the things they see is they tell you is that, okay, check, have you gone to the bathroom? Meaning, have you gone to the loo? Meaning, umihi ka na ba? Kasi ibig sabihin, kung nakaupo ka, tumayo ka naman at mag-break. So, if you're working from home, that's essential. Kasi nakakalimutan natin yun eh. Have you gone to the
Yeah.
bathroom? Tumayo ka ba? Nag-stretch ka ba?
Mm.
All those things. So maybe you can add, apart from your stretchers, you can add some breathing exercises as well. Kung iba nga, nag-yossi break, bakit hindi pwedeng mag-breathing break?
Ayun po, mga Wow Sisters. So, very simple exercises shared to us by Ma'am Vita, no, that we all can do at home, actually. Parang, ayan,
You can always
napakadali lang, no? And it will really help our body to relax and release the tension.
True.
And
Yes.
yung
And
mga
of course, the
constrictions.
posture. Yeah, sa posture then, imagine mo, if you're, most of the time we're curving our spine and ang nangyayari yun nga, since nadidecompress yung spine natin. So what happens to our posture pumapangit yung posture natin. So sometimes you see people, my curvature, merong hump dito. Why? Because it's a habit. What we do is we constantly sit like this. So in yoga, one of the things that we do is it does to you if you do it properly is it improves your posture. O di ba nga tayo napapaganon din? It really improves your posture. Kasi I noticed this from my clients. Tinatanong ko sila. O sinishare nila sa akin, alam mo ba, sabi nila, ngayon hindi na ako pwedeng ganyan umupo. Sabi niya, parang may self-correcting mechanism ang katawan ko na I now do this because this is what we do every day. Imagine if you go and practice consistently and it teaches you how to just sit. Maski yun lang makuha natin sa practice natin. Because by improving your posture, improve your breathing. You improve how the way you feel.
Yeah.
There was a talk, diba? There was a talk, I forgot her name, Amy. I forgot her name. It was Amy. That's her name. Harvard. She talked about power posing. So what is power posing? This is when you do certain pose helps you boost your energy, that boost your self-confidence. So sabi niya dun sa talk niya, before you go to an interview or any important event, you do this. This is what we do in yoga. We do this. We reach our hands up. We lengthen
The
our
sun
spine.
salutation.
Salutation. We lift our shoulders, sweep our chest. Why? Because when we do certain actions, our brain follows. It changes our psychological. There's a psychological change that happens to how we feel. Imagine if you see a person. Imagine ako papasok ko, good morning po, but you don't really see. Parang wala siyang self-confidence. Pero if the person comes in and she sits down well, and you see it differently. So that's power posing. Sabi niya, before you go to any talk or any important event, do this, reach your hands. Sabi niya, bakit daw? Yung mga, yeah, yung mga, sabi niya, look at animals, sabi niya, if they want to impress someone, or if they want to show their power, how, their, yung position nila in the pack, they do this, they do this, they do this, So same thing with humans. So there's a certain, I can't really explain what it is, but there's a certain, maybe Dr. Yang can help us explain. There's a certain change in the way our outlook, by just, changing our posture, changing the way, we sit, we stand. And that's going back to our topic, yoga. One of the things is it improves your posture because it really reinforced you to, to go back and sit tall, lengthen your spine. Really, when lengthen your spine or sit tall, come and open your chest, relax your shoulder, because it just tackles one part of the body at a time. Just helps you to open that part. And again, one of the things nga is sabi ng mga fans natin na I don't now sit differently. I just self-correct, and I don't care now because it makes me feel good. Sabi tayo. That's
Yes,
the most
true.
important thing.
Mm.
It makes me feel good.
True.
I remember in one of our episodes you mentioned about it, Ma'am Yang, no? Yung sitting
Yes.
tall.
Yes.
I remember that.
Kasi
So
there's a very strong relationship between your body and your brain, no? These are your nervous system, peripheral, and your central. Talaga magkadugtong talaga yan. No? What your muscle does, may nagsisend ng message kay brain na ito yung nangyayari sa katawan mo. Siguro to remind those who are listening now sa FB Live, naku, rinding-rinding na sila sa akin because every time I begin with a talk, I always tell them, smile. Di ba, Jo?
yes.
Lagi ko sinasabi yan, smile. Begin with your face. Kasi pag ngumingiti ka, it doesn't only make you look good, but it also makes you feel good. Kasi when your lips are like that, no, there's a message that goes to your brain. Sinasabi, oh, nakaganyan yung lips niya. And then the brain would secrete good transmitters, good hormones, like endorphins, no, serotonin. And then eventually, even if your smile is fake, eventually you'll feel good and then your smile becomes natural. So kapag may nakakita sa'yo, they also feel good. It's the power of smile. So that's beginning from your facial muscles, di ba? Kaya yung sinasabi ni Miss Vita na you sit tall, no? Stand tall. Totoo yan. Kasi your
Lengthen
body,
your
oo, kasi pag naka-slouch ka talaga, it doesn't only make you feel uh, no confidence, having no confidence, but also it shows other people that you have no confidence. 'Di ba? So it's really a biopsychosocial thing, no? The your posture and all. Ito nga funny, no? I just reminded me, if you notice earlier, bago tayo pinakilala, I stood up because I was not really feeling that ready. Tapos may message ko si Anthony, I said, tumayo ko kasi nagpabango ko. No? Because that's my take to my body. Parang when I spray it on, my body feels good. And then I can, kasi that's my take to my body. And then when I feel confident, my brain would follow. Oh, I can work. Kasi that's the routine that you have to give to, yung sinasabi natin every time we talk about self-care. I would say create a routine. And routine doesn't mean not always at 8 a.m., at 9 a.m. It's not that kind of
yeah.
routine. But the routine that you send to your body. Diba? When am I going to relax? Yung sinasabi ni Vita kanina that you don't need actually this paraphernalia of the yoga mat, no? Unless talagang you're into it.
Invested.
Bakit hindi, di ba? Pero yung kasi yung the feeling of, I feel this is flat and so my body is being told that I should stay flat like that until your body recognizes the good feeling that is attached to that straight sitting. So pag nakaupo ka kasing ganyan, those who are listening now, if you try to do just that, gumanyan ka lang ng konti. Feel like a beauty queen. Mararamdaman mo yung tingling sensation. Di ba, Miss Vita? There's a tingling sensation. And then when you feel that, and then later on, if you keep that, you will feel good. You feel better. And then if you keep doing that, yung brain mo, nakaprogram na siya na, ay, ang sarap na yon. Kaya kapag nagsimula kang gumanyan, then you start feeling better until it becomes a practice. Kaya yung auto-correct na sinasabi ni Miss Vita is so right. Kasi minsan talaga you cannot help but do that. Lalo na pagpagod ka na.
Yeah.
Tapos later on, parang I don't feel good. That's why you do. Okay, sandali. Kasi hinahanap na ng mind mo yung, oops, yung masarap, nasan yung masarap? So gaganyan yung body. No, that kind of routine is what we're saying, no, when we say create a routine. Kasi your body should be associated to the things that will make you feel good. Para si brain, alam niya kung kailan niya gagawin yun. Another thing, yung pag-gadget, diba, I always tell them, huwag kayong magpapatulog sa gadget. Yung if you want to play, then go play. Pero don't allow that gadget to put you to sleep. Why? Because your mind is not ready. You're stimulated because you're playing, but your eyes are already tired. That's why you sleep, no? You sleep because you're tired, but your body is not ready for it. Kaya in the long run, sumasakit yung ulo mo and the sleep becomes an unrelaxing uh, method of, instead of, you get relaxed because you sleep, ang feeling mo parang every time you wake up, ang sakit ng ulo mo. Kasi nga the body is not ready for it. So I see that yoga is something that prepares your mind to something that you will do. Di ba? So
Yeah.
when they are synchronized, when the body and the mind are synchronized, they are congruent, it allows you to move better, to think logically, to come up with better decisions. Kasi they are congruent. No? They are synchronized. Yun. Kaya ang ganda. And if I can, last lang, yung ginagawa natin kanina, Miss Vita, muntik mo na ako mapatulog. It brought me back to my hypnotherapy classes. Because
Yes,
that's what
yes.
we used to do with our hypnotherapy classes with Father Bulata, in my grad school. Na we really do that feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap. Yung mga ganon, and
Again,
then we
that's
really feel,
mindfulness. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's mindfulness. Grabe yung power niya, no? So thank you, no? Now, I felt relaxed for a few minutes that we did that.
Imagine if you do that. I want to go back to what you said, Doc Yang. Meron kang sinabi kanina that that actually triggers, that reminded me of something. Sa sleep, when you said that prepares your body, when you do this, it prepares your body. Actually, totoo yan. 80% ng clients ko sinasabi sa akin na, I slept differently last night when I did my practice. Ang sarap ng tulog ko. And I keep asking, ano kayang meron? Why? Maybe it's because this is the only time that you start relaxing your muscles. And this is the time when you start focusing on your breath. And you start focusing on your breath, the brain and all this the chemicals in our brain start secreting something that helps us calm down. And
Right.
I guess, yeah, and I guess that's it. That's the main ingredient why it helps you really to go to sleep. 80% usually tells me, oh, masarap ang tulog ko nito mamayang gabi. Or after a rigorous practice, always na sila. Usually that's why they like doing it, night. Kasi diretso na daw silang tulog. Especially yung mga pagod na pagod sa work. They like doing it at night because they go straight, shower lang sila, and then they sleep. Sinasabi na nakakatulog sila ng birthday. I remember there was one client of mine, she said, I have difficulty sleeping. And first time attending the class, that's how powerful it is. She said, I've never slept so well in my entire life. And there was another one, she was grieving. Her mother just died. And for the long, 3 straight months, wala siyang quality of sleep. So her sleep was gone. She's so stressed. When I met her, talaga makita mo, she's really not in a good shape. So she started doing yoga. Medyo skeptical pa nga siya mag-try, but then we just did a very calming kind of class, just to calm her down. She said, I came back the next day. She said, oh my God, sabi niya lang ganon. I have never had such a deep sleep for such a long time, because I guess her muscles started relaxing, her mind started relaxing, so that induced sleep.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that, no? Bambita and Bamyan, no? Actually, kasi, ako, no, nung nag-start talaga ang COVID-19, I had this difficulty in sleeping. So, what I did, because my sister's also practicing yoga. So, she told me that to do some exercises. But I stopped because of my lumbar problem. Because I did an exercise that caused me pain. But what I did is just do the child pose.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good.
Yeah.
Child pose and the cat and cow. And so I can attest to that na yoga really helps in sleeping. And it's like I had a remission. Last week, I had a difficulty in sleeping again. So but we have an exercise that we're doing right now, a trauma release exercise. And it was really good. So we really need to, um, um, yung parang dapat yung muscle, we really have to do something with our muscles, no? And then
Oh.
with our brain and practice talaga yung breathing. So we're gonna have to go back to ourselves to
Mm.
calm our mind and have that quality sleep that we need, right now. Ayan, so actually, mga moms and sirs, so napakaganda ng mga shinare ngayon ni Ms. Yeng and ni Ms. Vita, no? Yung mga exercise na, especially ngayon na online class tayo, para ma-prepare talaga tayo when facing our learners, we can just raise our hands before we start and smile. It will really make a difference, no? Ayan, may mga comments na tayo, Ms. Yeng. Sige po, bago ko basahin yung ating mga comments.
There's a study that was presented in, I think it was National Geographic, on the power pose. Na yung pagiging alpha male and alpha female, nakikita kasi doon that if you act like a winner, you tend to get more positive things. Diba? Kaya nga, in studies, it's really not on what, diba? Parang it's not what you look, it's how you present yourself. No, it's really whether matapos ang ilong mo o maganda ka o no. Kasi kahit na ang ganda-ganda mo, ang gwapo-gwapo mo, but if you act like that, parang ikaw mismo wala kang tiwala. Di ba? Parang, how can you even attract positive things? That's why you need to look positive. So, nagsisimula talaga yan sa brain. So, again, lagi nating iisipin yung biopsychosocial model na yan. Na what happens to your mind affects your body, no? And how you relate to other people. These are really so connected, no? One cannot stand alone. Ayan. There goes.
Biopsychosocial. Okay, thank you po. Ayan. Ayan, batiin natin ating mga viewers, no? Kay Miss Ariete de la Vega, kay Miss Annie Zoniga, kay Miss Nida Carion, kay Miss Aurora, ayan, and kay Mr. Jose Evara, no. Maraming salamat po sa panonood. Ayan, actually po, itong mga wellness, natin ay libre lang. Katulad nga nung nasabi ni Ms. Vita kanina, no, na you don't need to spend or invest much on this. Kasi pwede nyo itong gawin at your own home, no? And at sa sarili nyong oras. Okay, so ito may tanong dito mula kay Ms. Annabel Garen Magaro ng Post Division Office of Ilocos Norte. What is the best exercise or yoga you could advise, Ma'am Vita, to ease the pain, especially the buttocks?
Wow. Buttocks area. Saan kaya sa buttocks area niya? Is she referring to gluteus muscles, saang part? Baka naman radiating pain tayo. So again, importante, I don't want to give a very specific advice kasi I don't know her personally. And again, one thing, ask someone to look at it, ask a doctor to look at it for you as well. If is this a pain that you're experiencing, what kind of pain? So look at the quality of pain. Baka naman sharp pain yan. So sharp pain yan, how long it is, gano'n nakatagal, chronic pain na ba ito, or baka naman strain lang. So if you're going to ask me, ano ba yung specific one? I guess we look at it, one thing I guess na we look at it is, meron tayong specific exercise na dapat gawin. Ito ang dapat natin gawin. Actually, it doesn't work like that. It's a holistic way of doing it. So if you want to improve, one part of your body, you don't just, improve one, but look for something that you can do to move your body, lahat ng katawan natin. So I guess what's now being portrayed in social media is, I want a big butt. So I'm doing two squats like that. Oh, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. We have to look at it as a holistic point of view. If there's a pain on this, maybe, we do something that works all our muscles. Kasi it could be a radiating pain somewhere else. It could be one part of our body strained and then it just radiates to another one. And again, going back to the practice of yoga, it's not just, okay, I want to work on my abs, so core lang ako ng core. No? Again, this is what we have to unravel what the social media is trying to portray us. When we look at our core muscle, it's not just portrayed for an ab. This is a very important muscle of our body. That, it's like a corset, so to speak, para maintindihan natin. Para siyang naka-wrap around na itong muscle na ito, tinutulungan tayo para tumayo, tumakbo, at lahat ng activity natin. Kaya tinatawag siyang core. Kasi importanteng muscle siya. Pero ang nangyayari kasi sa social media ngayon, Eh, abs lang sinasabi nila sa core, yung mga 6 packs, 2 packs. Ako, 1
Yeah.
pack lang. Isang
Kaya,
malaking 1
kaya
pack.
nakaka-pressure
Oo.
talaga na
Diba?
mag-yoga because of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Yeah.
portrayal sa
No,
media.
no, I beg to disagree, but no. This is about well-being. This is not about aesthetic looking
Yeah.
good. Yes, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But look at it on a deeper way. How this is making me feel. It's more about my well-being. How this activity is making me happy? Is it making me feel good? Is this helping me in my everyday life? You have to look at it that way rather than looking at it that, okay, I have to build my muscle, I have to build my abs. So going back to her question, I would say, I don't want to say you have to do this kind of pose for you to release that kind of pain. What I'm trying to say, is that, to answer your question, is that do variety of poses that feels good to you. Kasi walang isa na ito cure for all. Ito okay na. Ito no, it doesn't work like that. It's a kind of activity that you do with your whole body. It's a mind and body connection. Um, and it's not about I have to do this to cure that. No, it doesn't work like that. It's something that you can do involving your whole system, your mind, your body, your sense of touch, your feeling, your breathing, and all those things.
Yes.
Wow,
And when,
holistic, everything works
oo,
together. No?
Yeah.
Sige,
alam mo,
Ma'am Yang.
Bumabalik ngayon yung mga past sessions natin, no?
Yeah.
Ang ganda talaga ng program ng wellness check na to, no? Kasi magkakadugtong. Like, you remember when Enzo and Julia said, when you do exercise, you do not think of just beautifying yourself, no?
Yes.
It's really more on what happens within you. How does this exercise help you? So it depends on your form, no? So they were talking about physical
I
exercise.
remember the
Diba?
form.
Ang ganda ng salita yung form. Huwag kang parang hindi siya pang form. Parang hindi siya ja-form. No, parang that
Yes.
was the tagline of Enzo, I think, at the time. You don't use exercise for ja-form. Kailangan you know your form. And then June last session also said you need to take care of your inner sunshine. You remember that? The inner sunshine. So you put them both together, that taking care of your form and doing things according to your form, and just taking care of your inner sunshine. It's well-being that you're talking about now, Miss Vita, no? Talagang bumabalik sa akin, parang nagsasummarize yung mga past sessions
Yeah.
natin, no? Kaya perfect talaga to, mga teachers na nakikinig sa atin ngayon, di ba? Kasi oo, when you
Episode
get from
episode 5 pa lang tayo, ma'am, pero meron na tayong summary. So nakikita na natin yung interconnectedness ng mga topic natin.
yes,
So we just don't talk about the mind, but we also talk about our body.
and its
Because yun
relation
nga,
to the mind,
mensana in corpore sano, a healthy mind
right? Galing.
in a healthy body.
Right. Galing, galing. Ang ganda, no? So,
Kasi, oo, di ba? Kasi, Doc, going back, ngayon kasi, we're so focused on how we look now. We're so focused on the physical aspect of ourselves. And that's why we practice all this mindfulness
right.
practice, this breathing, this yoga. Because what we want is we want people to come back to their true inner power, their true inner being. That you are beautiful, whatever shape or form you are, and you're not just doing yoga because you wanna look good. That's part of it. Yes, a side effect, but you wanna feel good as well. You wanna go tap in the power inside you that there is beyond what you can do. Kasi
Yeah.
that's what's happening now. That you know, I remember having this conversation with my clients. She runs one of the biggest hospital here where I am, in Cagayan, and she's sharing it to me now. When she started practicing yoga, um, it's like a milestone, sabi niya sa akin, na because she put so much weight, and now she wants to lose weight and she wants to feel good as well. And every time she does, when she started yoga, ang dami niyang doubts sa sarili niya. Kaya ko ba to? No, I can't. Hindi ko kaya to. I'm a big lady. Hindi ko kaya to. And now you see her doing extreme poses. So what am I saying here is that it's a breakthrough. The reason why we practice yoga is because it's a tool. It's a certain activity that we can do to break through barriers that we build
Yeah.
around ourselves.
Mhm.
Parang sinasabi kasi natin, we have this perception in our mind, matanda na ako, hindi ko na kaya yan. Hindi ko na kaya mag-split, hindi ko na kaya yung tasing legs ko. Hindi na. It's a milestone. Once you, it's just, parang it's just a step kasi way forward na, kung kaya ko to sa yoga class, then how does that translate to the real life? Meaning, ibig sabihin, meron pa palang other thing na pwede kong kayang gawin. It comes back to your self-belief, di ba? Parang kung teka lang, na kaya ko mag-headstand kahapon. Parang, oh my God. So, ibig sabihin, there's more to life than this. I can do other things. So, that's one thing.
Yes,
Wow.
true. Oo. Kasi when you said she already looks good, no? It's because yung feeling good exudes. Kasi when you look good not because yun nga tumangos ang ilong mo, but you look good because you feel good about your body. Yun.
Yeah.
And that's one reason, di ba, sabi nga sa mga pag-aaral, kapag confident ka, nakikita sa'yo yun. Di ba? Yun. Kaya siguro,
It shows.
yeah, it shows. Kaya kumbaga, whatever pain you're going through, you're experiencing, it's really on how you manage it. No? And it all begins with the physiological. Hinga ka muna. Para whatever you are experiencing, you need to calibrate your breathing first. So, kung halimbawa may tendency kang mag-ingay o magtalak-talak ng ganyan, quiet. Quiet ka muna. Tapos when you keep quiet, you start feeling what happens around you, what happens in your body, di ba? And then you allow yourself to breathe, no? So nakikita natin yung basic principle ng yoga talaga sa everyday life natin and how we can manage also our everyday life, no? Galing. I love every
Ayan,
session.
ito naman po. Me too, yang.
Yeah.
Kasi ito naman, I mean,
Very
the
empowering.
opening of classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ayan, so yan, kasi we want this to be to be shared sa mga learners, no? Hindi lang sa mga teachers natin sa DepEd. So is it possible na yung mga bata mag-yoga din, mag-practice din ng yoga, Miss Vita?
Definitely. Meron tayong tinatawag na kids yoga. And I hope I can show one of my youngest yogi ang tawag ko. One of my youngest practitioner of yoga is he started 4 years old with his mom.
Oh.
Sumasama-sama lang siya. So I do private kasi ngayon we cannot deliver yet big classes. But what people tend to like now is they do private classes in their own home. Para konti lang, sila lang. I have this mother and child. Before, it's just the mom who always, she loves doing yoga because she has a busy kind of lifestyle. And his then 4-year-old son just want to, see what's happening. He wants to, very curious ang siya. And I tell you, this kid, he started at 4 years old, and we stop a little bit, and then he now starting, he's now starting doing his yoga practice with his mom. And alam mo, he's always looking forward to it. Pwede siya sa kids. There's actually kids yoga. And what people now tend to do is that they add stories. So, depende kasi sa child, sa edad ng children then. I usually say, depende yan sa bata, sa interest niya. As young as 4, 5, pwede na silang pwede na silang sumali ng yoga class. Again, iti-tailor mo lang sa kanilang interest. So this kid that I'm working with his mom, he loves his restorative yoga. Tinatanong ko sa kanya, what do you love about this class? Sabi niya, ano yung gustong-gusto ko? Sabi niya, gusto ko yung nare-relax ako kasi maganda yung music. Sabi niya. Maganda yung music. Tapos sabi niya, nare-relax ko ako, sabi niya. So he loves it. Alam mo, I see him, nagstay siya within yung 1 hour, whole period na 1 hour. One thing that it's really good kasi it helps children to listen to instructions as well. Their active listening is developed.
Yes, nakapractice.
Yeah, napa-practice kasi they listen to instruction, then they do it. And that's really good because these are all, part of intelligence. Your listening skills and they develop sila. Yung motor skills sila na they develop kasi there are poses that we do that help them to stretch. Hindi lang, lagi ngayon mga bata, nakaganon,
Ah,
hawak yung gadget. So, hindi lang ito na exercise. Ang
yeah.
Yes, Ma'am
katawan.
Vita, paano kaya ito matuturo ng mga teachers natin? Kasi ngayon, walang face-to-face interaction, modular lang, and online yung classes. Ano po
Mm,
kaya yung magiging advice nyo sa mga teachers natin?
I guess the teacher should start practicing first so they know. The teacher should start experiencing it first because experience is the best teacher. Kasi kung hindi mo ma-experience it, it's all just based on, books and knowledge, hindi mo talaga siya matuturo. So if your teacher, itong teacher one of my clients, sabi ko sa kanya, ini-incorporate niya daw konti-konti sa nag-stretch sila. Minsan, they do, certain activity na, sige, stretch your hands para hindi sila makatulog. So, it's already yoga, di ba? So, I guess the teacher should start experiencing it first. And then they can, I really like this because it's very versatile. They can add their own, creativity in their own yoga practice in their class, especially if you're dealing with kids. You can add some stories into it. You can, use the kids' imagination and pretend you're in a jungle and then you can do some
Oh.
activities and then
Mm-mm. Yeah, so,
Yes.
oh, ang
Ayun,
ganda. Oo.
napaka talaga no, Ma'am Yeng.
Oo.
Kasi parang na-remember ko when Sir June, di ba, we asked you then the same question na, how will our teachers teach this to their learners, no? Talagang sinabi na start sa teacher talaga. So,
Yes, oo.
teacher should be the example, the best model for their learners to do this
Correct.
activities.
Right. Because you cannot share what you don't have, remember?
Yes.
You need to practice and do it to yourself first. Para pag shinare mo sa kanila, alam na alam mo din yung experience na sinishare mo sa mga estudyante. Yeah. So, as Miss Vita was saying, you in a jungle, no? You were,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, in
sorry,
a
I was cut off na walang my power cut. Anyway, my power cut. Yes, I was just, yun nga, you can incorporate your own, creativity. Yun nga, it also develops, everyone's imagination. Sometimes what I do when I'm dealing with kids and they like to do yoga, I tend to, use our creativity and our imagination because kids love stories. You can hook them with stories. So I would tell them, imagine you're a jungle and you see a lion, then we do this in lion pose, or, that kind of thing. And you're already stretching them. You're already using a lot of stuff, imagination, their listening skills. So imagine you're a tall giraffe. So, you lengthen your spine, or you notice you're already improving their posture. So those kind of things. So again, one thing, teachers should start experiencing it first, and then you can add on, use your creativity to to do that in the class. It doesn't have to be a long kind of, yoga. Kahit 10 to 15 minutes lang na, 'di ba, kung meron tayong icebreaker in the class o pag naantok na yung mga bata, maybe we can do simple yoga. And maybe we can
yeah.
start adding that to our educational
yeah.
system.
Mm-mm.
In the UK now, there's a study actually. They integrated yoga as part of their curriculum, and they noticed that yung mga bata na misbehave, what they tend to do before is they put them on detention. Now they put them on a yoga class. And what happened is that yung kanilang behave, yeah, the kids are more calmer. Yun ang sinasabi ng mga teachers. The kids are, wala na mga true ones, hindi na sila, kasi it helps you to manage your emotions. Yeah, one of the things that we see with kids, sabi natin, itong batang to matigas ang ulo. But, have you even really started to talk to your child? Maybe this child has some emotional problem that we don't know how to handle. And one of the things that we can do is to help them calm down. And this will
Yeah.
help them to, to be open. So that's one of the study. It's in Suffolk actually, and it's amazing how this kind of simple tool that we can do for kids rather than punishing them and giving them detention. We can put them on a yoga class. Maybe this activity will help them eventually in their life in the future.
Yes.
True. Oh, that's true. My granddaughter, she was only 4. She just turned 5 days ago. So at the time that she was doing this, she was 4 years old. Her mom said use exercises every night. Medyo tumigil lang ng konti ngayon. They both have their yoga mats. So she also has her yoga mat. They don't do yoga, but yung exercise, no? And then she would know, I'm going to exercise, and then she would bring it. Alam niya yung time and when to do it. Yan. And then, siguro yung when you're saying, calm them down, no? For the parents naman listening, you can do that to your child. Like for example, kasi ako ngayon, ang practice ko yung apo ko eh, who's 5 years old. May tendency na nag-emotional tantrum, no? Yung shouting, ganyan. So sometimes I just keep quiet kasi ang napansin ko noon, kapag sinabayan mo talaga siya, gulo talaga to, di ba? So you keep quiet and then kakausapin mo. Habang kinakausap mo, the power of touch can also work para makam sila. Tapos malalagay mo sila dun sa state na ng mindfulness, no, habang bata. Calm them down by, like touching. Okay, sige, sige. I'll listen. What is it? Kasi may power yung touching. No? So pag tinatouch mo ng ganyan, nagkakaroon siya ng focus. Kasi hindi pa, like very young as 4, baka hindi pa nila kayang magsimula doon sa ganyan, di ba? So you begin it with, touching them sa forearms, sa back, and then you talk to them. And then they will focus on the touch. Okay, sige, you tell me. Yun. So that focus now is, again, another principle of yoga. No, as I hear. No? Diba? So baka that can help if your children are, throwing tantrums, instead na hablutin mo yung bata o sigawan mo yung bata. If you speak slowly and calmly, they will tend to focus on that. What is she saying? So nagfo-focus siya ngayon sa voice mo. Diba? And then ita-touch mo siya. So at least doon, nagsisimula na yung yoga practice. Kasi yung capacity ng bata na mag-concentrate and mag-focus, natututo, nagsisimula, napapractice. So you can do that at home also.
Yes, sa mga teachers na nanonood ngayon, sa mga viewers natin, maybe you can share sa mga parents ng mga learners nyo itong mga simple things na ito na share sa atin ni Miss Vita and Miss Yeng, no? Kasi magmaganda na habang bata pa sila, mag-form na itong mga mga bagay dito sa kanila, no, yung focus, kasi talagang, no, yung mga natututunan ng bata habang bata pa sila, nadadala to sa adult. So napakaganda na simulan natin ito ngayon pa lang sa ating mga learners.
Oo, at saka Miss John, ang ganda nung sinabi ni Miss Vita nung kanina na-amaze ako, yung feel like a giraffe. Tapos gaganyan sila. Yeah. Ang ganda, kanina iniisip ko while you were talking, iniisip ko gagawin ko nga mamaya yun sa apo ko. Let's play. Total mahilig naman siyang gayahin si Tom. So ginagaya niya si Tom. So parang ang gandang i-practice.
Ako naman, Miss Yeng, na yung sinabi ni Miss Vita, opo. Ako naman naisip ko kanina nung sinabi siya ni Miss Vita, no? Kasi meron tayong mga storytelling activities sa lalo na sa elementary kids natin. And may mga teachers tayong gumagawa ng mga gandang big books. And siguro no, kung online yung classes natin, what we can do is habang nagkukwento ang teachers, no, pag may tukol sa puno, ito ay tukol sa mga animals, they can ask their learners to, okay, paano yung puno? Oo, yung malagong puno. So they can stretch their hands, no, and legs. The three pose, perfect, three pose. Ayun, so our teachers can really do this, I believe.
At saka,
it promotes, di ba? Kasi parang ngayon sedentary na tayo. So, hindi nang basta nagre-read. So, ngayon, we involve them to do the activity. Kasi, pinapromote din natin na they move. Di ba? So, hindi na tayo sedentary. When we read, we can still trick them to exercise using story and, yoga poses.
At saka for older students, yung video that you will share also, Ms. Vita, yung tinuturo mo kanina, sitting down, you can do that for grade 12 students, grade 6 students, no? Yung hindi na natin makakwentuhan ng magiging giraffe. Pero that activity alone, the exercise alone, while they're sitting, ang gandang gamitin practice kahit yung mga physical education teachers.
Yes. Kung may mga PE teachers po dito, no, magandang gawin din ito sa ating mga learners, no? Yung mga grade 7 to grade 12 learners natin can already do those poses na tinuro ni Miss Vita kanina.
Mm-mm-mm.
Para hindi lang ito sa mga teachers, pati na din sa mga learners. And I believe, pag tinuro natin ito sa ating mga learners, pati yung mga pamilya nila, pwede ding matuto dito. Kasi whatever our learners learn sa classroom or sa pinag-aaralin nila sa school can be shared then sa mga families nila. So wow, that's the
Exactly.
impact of this. Yes, Ms. Vita.
I completely agree. I completely agree sa sinabi ni. It's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Yung sinabi mo na you have your stories and reading books, magandang i-incorporate sa PE class. Again, I think tayo lang medyo slow pagdating sa pag-integrate ng mga ganitong bagay sa ating mga educational system o sa ating offices, organization. But if you look at the Western country, they are so open into doing this. Yun nga part, they slowly integrating yoga classes, mindfulness, breathing exercises. Even Google actually has their own, mindfulness practice. All these big organizations are already doing this. And you see the results and see how, their employees they're different. Why? Because they have this mindfulness practice, yoga and other things.
So, yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so, ayan, our teachers are so creative pagdating sa mga ganito, So, I believe nga, ang iba sa kanila, ino-incorporate na din yung mga ganitong mga bagay sa klase. Ayan, so, ayun yung mga comments tayo dito, Basahin ko lang sila before our last words. Okay, mula kay Mr. Dennis De Jesus ng Santa Maria Central District ng Bulacan. Wellness emphasizes the whole person. It brings together spirit, mind, and body, and the understanding that all we do can be impacted by the choices we make. And meron pa siyang additional. Lifestyle choices are important in determining overall health. So it's important for you to be educated about your health, take charge of your life, and have healthy lifestyle-related goals. Ito naman mula kay Abisini Magaway, positive spirit, physically, mentally, nice topic, ma'am. Thank you po. And mula kay Joanne Pagbasantillan, still watching po, I would really like to try yoga. Parang napaka-peaceful and relaxing po niya. Yes, ma'am, please do try yoga. And ito po mula kay Miss Joyce Ann Adun Kalimag. Hi, Vita Marie Bagayan. Nice to see and hear from you. Kakilala niyo ba to, ma'am? Thank you for sharing those knowledge. Ayan. And mula kay Miss Sheena May Garcia Miguel, the topic is yoga but in your, Yes, you have been sharing lots of words of wisdom na nakakagaan ng pakiramdam. You made other realize na talagang life is what you make it. Thank you very much po. More power to this program. Thank you very much po sa inyo pong mga comments and suggestions. Kung hindi man po namin nabasa ang inyong questions or comments, don't you worry po. We will look into them later. Yan. Okay, so ayan, our time is really short, So this is the moment to hear the last message from our guest today. Let's start with Miss Vita.
Thank you very much, Ms. Joanne and Dr. Yang. Thank you for inviting me to be here. Again, it's not enough that we just look into it and say yes, this is good, but it's I want you to experience it. Give yourself a gift of experiencing something different in your life. And if you have a lot of misconceptions about stuff, talk to me. I'm available online. I have a page. Reach out to me. Maybe we can chat and I can help you answer all your doubts about yoga and other stuff. I think last thing I wanted to say to everyone is that again, we don't replace we don't see this as a cure for everything. But it is just a tool for us to help us to maybe ease some pain and aches in our body, and maybe something to help us release whatever doubts we have in ourselves by doing this simple practice. So experience it, try it, And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer your questions, more specific questions about yoga and other stuff.
Thank you, Miss Vita and Ma'am Yang.
Yes, we keep talking about self-care, no? And I like when Miss Vita said, you owe yourself, di ba? You need to take care of yourself also. Yan. Kumbaga, you have to start within. So sa mga teachers, sa mga magulang natin dyan, as you listen now, always remember that we do things that can help us not to be perfect, no? But just to be able to manage whatever we're experiencing. All these things that you hear from us from day one, no? From session one to now is not about perfection or making ourselves free from worries and anxieties. There's no such thing. The thing is that you are able to manage yourself. You know when it is not good anymore, and you need to recognize it. Just so you know also, like for example, if you do yoga and you already have that practice of understanding your body, you already know if it is not feeling good. Like yung sinasabi ni Miss Vita na there's an automatic correction, di ba? Like when you sit, you would know if it is not correct anymore. It means you know your body so well, and you know when it is not feeling good anymore. So that's the reason why we're here, no? Just to keep ourselves aware and be connected with our body. Always remember the connection of body and mind. They are not separated. They're always together. So whatever you have in mind, your body feels it. And whatever your body does, your mind, no, also has it. It gets the message, and magtutulungan silang dalawa. That's why thank you so much for being with us. We hope to see you again with to our next sessions, no, on our wellness check. Love the love ko yung topic. Sa susunod, 3 oras na, Miss Vita.
Oo, para mag-yoga class din tayo, di ba? Hindi lang
Maganda po
siya,
yan.
di ba? Kailangan
Maganda yan.
after ng theory, after ng matutunan natin
May
yung
practice.
science behind it, you know, kailangan may application din, di ba? Knowledge.
Right.
Diba?
Kaya nga. To be beautiful, you need to feel beautiful. Di ba?
That is very
Yoga.
true. That is very true. It starts all within. It starts all within.
Yes. True.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
po, Miss Vita and Miss Yang. Your feedback will surely be sent to our management. Okay, so ayan, ma'am sisters, no, maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood, and of course maraming salamat kay Miss Vita and kay Miss Yang, no, for joining us today, no, na madami tayong nalaman, hindi lang tungkol sa yoga, but of course on how are we going to improve our well-being. Okay, so ayan, no, napakaganda. Actually ako din, medyo kailangan ko yatang bumalik. Kasi, madami tayong talagang makukuha sa mga ganito. Pero, no, eto lang po mga moms and sirs, kasi maraming nagtatanong, no, ng mga yoga practices or mga yoga exercises na gagawin kapag may ganitong sakit or may ganitong may mga medical condition. Pag ganun po, it is best pa rin to seek advice muna from your doctors or health expert, and of course yung mga yoga teachers natin para po mabigyan kayo ng magandang advice on how are you going to proceed with yoga. Kasi ito po we want you to do this to practice yung mga tinuturo natin dito sa ating wellness check series, but of course we have to check ourselves muna. Ayan, sabi nga ni Ma'am Yang and Miss Vita, no, yung mga exercises naman, hindi naman siya one size fits all. So it is up to us, it is up to our body kung ano yung kaya natin. Sabi nga, kung kaya, kayanin, kung hindi, huwag pilitin. Okay? So yan po. Sa mga viewers natin, no, kung meron pa kayong mga katanungan, just feel free to ask them sa comment section para ma-check din namin and babalikan natin since Ma'am Vita naman is here to help us, address your concerns. Okay? So ayan, to address end our webinar series for today, no? Let us call in the Director of Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, Director Renilda Arco. Good morning, Director.
Good morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, sa ating mga manonood. mga teachers, mga magulang, at syempre dahil naka-quarantine tayo, I'm pretty sure, no? Kasama niyo na rin ang buong pamilya niya, no? Yung mga anak at mga asawa. So, salamat po, no? Sabi nga ni Miss Vita, and I guess that's true to many of us, if not all of us. Before the lockdown, di ba? Marami talaga tayong mga focus, life is very consumerist. Di ba? So, lahat ng pagpapaganda, sige, di ba? Contest ang buhay sa pagpapaganda, pananamit, exercises, lahat. Kaya ang dami nating misconceptions. Di ba? Pati na sa yoga. Kasi nga, pag nag-advertise kung ano-ano din, di ba? At lahat. So, iba-ibang ating pangunawa at pagtingin. So, iba-iba din ang dahilan bakit tayo pumupunta doon sa mga ito. But then the COVID actually put us all in perspective. Diba? I think yun din ang maganda. Meron siyang magandang dinudulot sa gitna ng ating mga struggles, no? Dito sa pandemyang ito. Because one of it is really realizing, no, na hindi ito yung mahalaga sa buhay. Diba? Because we realize then, oh no, diba? Lahat na ng mga pinagpipili nating mga damit, pampaganda, lahat, parang hindi ko siya kailangan. Sabi nasa bahay ka lang, di ba? Parang kailangan ko ba mag-make up, lahat, di ba naman, di ba? Unless nga, nakaganito ka lang na kailangan mong mag-zoom, mag-speak and everything. Otherwise, everything is, di ba? And these are all temporary. And then we realize, kinatamaan tayo lahat ng mental health, challenge nito. And then we realize, oh no, what we really need is well-being. Diba? So kaya lahat ng pinag-usapan natin, puro well-being na. Diba? Yung katiwasayan, kaginhawaan ng isip. Because we were never attacked, I think, in this way. Never in our own, diba? History. Have we been attacked na, oh no. Diba? You can really, you can be attacked with anxiety, every now and then. At sabi nga ni John, siya, bumalik siya ulit, gano'n. Pero yung pag ganon, hindi siya yung okay na. Practice ko na, hindi siya once and for all. It keeps going back, no? We do like this. And we're trying to find really ways, no? That every now and then, ay maibalik natin ang ating mga sarili, no? To be functional, to be healthy, no? To be still kind and compassionate with one another, di ba? To have focus, yung ganon. So ito yung ginagawa natin, iba't ibang pamamaraan. And I like this, I've been listening to the discussions actually. Gusto ko yung natutunan ko ngayong umagang ito, sana kayo din po, dun sa value ng yoga. Kasi ang lumalabas, no, sa ating mga iba't ibang episodes, merong very primary yung breathing. I think, di ba? We never pay attention to it kasi naman, di ba, natural ka namang humihinga. Di ba? Yes. Parang, bakit ka ba ninervous kahit nga iniisip mong hindi ka humihinga, actually, humihinga ka nga naman. Di ba? Otherwise, wala na. Di ba? Yung ganon. But we realize na, this deep breathing, and really taking time to deep breathe, to do deep breathing is actually very essential when you are already at this level of anxiety. No? So yun yung isa, and I think yung is the body. The connection of the body, the mind, and the spirit is so essential. So the focus on the body alone, ganyan, or the intellectual, and yung mga ganon, di ba? Kaya tayo, di ba, minsan the society is so competitive, tayo rin very competitive, kung ano-ano, di ba? Lahat pagalingan, ganyan, pagandahan, pagwapuhan, at then you realize, does not matter. No, does not matter. Because then you realize, oh no, di ba? It doesn't connect to the soul, doesn't connect to the spirit, doesn't connect to the psychological aspect, you know? So the whole disintegration, no, this COVID actually points us to that. There is so much disintegration. You know, kaya siguro magulo din ang mundo, magulong mga pamilya, magulong pamayanan, magulong bansa, magulong buong mundo. Diba yung ganon? There's so much integration at the individual level. And so I think, thank you so much for bringing us, no, to all these connections that we need to do. So gusto ko yun. In fact, na-realize ko yung sabi ni Ma'am Vita, no, even then that they actually espouse this, yung pa din na, we need to have our doctors check on us and everything. Because na-realize ko, a few of the exercise na pag ganun-ganun at lahat, di ba? Actually, kasi ako scoliotic din ako, no? My doctors do that, no? Yung mga simple lang, nakala mo hindi naman kailangan ng forceful exercise. Yung ganon, but the right exercise points you, actually, may na-unlock siya, di ba? Ng mga naipit at mga lahat. So I realized, para siyang nagte-therapy. Oh, ang galing. So I thought, Ma'am Vita, pwede mo na akong estudyante. Diba? So I realized, this is very good. So I hope that may mga na-convince po tayo. I would like to also add, no, yung sinabi mo on the poses, because it's very essential. For us leaders, we must be conscious of that. Ako, bata-bata pa ako nung ginagawa namin yon. Kasi when somebody talks to you, you must be conscious of the body language. Bahagi yun eh. Diba? Kaya makikita niyo yung mga very confident people, the body language, they occupy space. Right? Oo, ang mga tindig, ang mga kamay nakaganyan. Diba? The table, they do that. The moment you talk to somebody like that, na-feel mo may intimidation at lahat ganyan, dapat conscious. Kasi sasabihin mo, okay, game. I know what's happening here. Diba? Minsan hindi rin conscious ng mga tao, diba? Kaya minsan parang mayayabangan tayo, diba? Kasi ang laki ng niya at lahat, mga ganon. So, if you're very conscious of those, because people know how to project themselves, or even unconsciously, they have so much confidence of at lahat, diba? Ganyan. You will know how to deal with them. And it is especially true if you're leaders, actually. In fact, ito sa mga staff ko, pag mag-talk sila, at sinasabi ko, when you go on talk and speak, chest out. You cannot be like, di ba? You have to. Kasi sino maniniwala sa'yo when you go out and di ba, yung ganon at lahat, yung ganyan. And so, kaya sabi ko, na-appreciate ko tong yoga na to. Ang ganda pala ng nito, ng connection doon sa mga, doon sa mga leadership principles na mga ganon, yung mga non-verbal languages and everything, yung mga ganon. So sabi ko, they all connect. This is very nice. So I hope you are able to appreciate this very holistic presentation of Ma'am Vita, in the various aspects of our lives, di ba? And of course, in the overall, discussion of well-being. So Ma'am Vita, thank you so much. And of course, ang ating resident psychologist, si Professor Yang Gatchalian. Thank you, Yang. Lagi pong binabalanse natin ang ating mga integration sa ating pagkatao para sa ikabubuti nating lahat. So I hope that ngayon ang last session namin, because next week we are taking some rest, no? Para sa mga sessions, and we come back on the first week of September. So please take time also to rest, mga kapatid, sa DepEd and all those others who are watching this, so that we have moments really of truly breathing. Okay? So thank you po at magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director Ronnie, ayan, Ms. Yeng, and Ms. Vita for joining us today. Dami na share si Ma'am Ronnie. Actually, parang she summarized yung discussion natin today. Thank you, Ma'am. And ayan, thank you din po kay Ms. KZ Meroy, ang ating Filipino Sign Language Interpreter, and kay Ms. Alec Del Rosario, and sa lahat po ng viewers natin ngayon sa Wellness Check Series. Maraming salamat po sa pagsama kahit na holiday. Ayan. So ko lang po batiin si Summer Dominguez ng Buyoy Impact Elementary School sa Camarines Sur. Ayan po. So for COVID-19 related concerns po, may ipa-flash po kami sa inyong mga screen na hotlines po ng DepEd at ng Crisis Line. Kung kayo po ay may mga nangangailangan po ng tulong, no, pwede nyo pong tawagan yan per region. Ayan, para po makatulong sa inyo na mabigyan ng tulong ngayon po na meron tayong pandemic na nararanasan. So ayan po, stay tuned every Friday at 9 a.m. at DepEd Philippines Facebook page para sa ating Wellness Check Series Training on Wellness. Kung may nais po kayong malaman, kung nais niyo pong malaman pala ang mga susunod nating episodes or topics po sa ating series, punta lamang po kayo sa link na makikita niyo sa inyong screen or punta kayo sa deped.in/wellnesscheck. And tulungan niyo po kami mapaganda pa ang ating Wellness Check episodes sa pamamagitan po ng pagsagot sa ating evaluation form. Ayan, kung kayo po ay may mga hawak na phones ngayon, pwede niyo pong scan ng QR code na makikita niyo sa inyong screen or punta po kayo sa deped.in/wellnesscheck-eval para po masagutan ang iyong evaluation form. And samahan niyo po kami sa iba pang programa ng DepEd para matulungan tayong malagpasan ang mga nararanasan natin ngayon dahil sa COVID-19. Pero sabi nga po ni Director Ronnie, pahinga po tayo next week. Kaya magkikita-kita po muli tayo sa first week of September. So ayan, meron pa rin tayong Stronger from Home, ang ating DRM Buklatan, Kaagapay Buhay, Gabay Bahay, at OKK Tambayan. At syempre, ito pong ating Wellness Check Series. Pero ayan, magkita-kita po tayong muli sa first week of September. Ayan, so lagi lang po kayong sumubaybay sa DepEd Philippines Facebook page sa iba't ibang programa po ng DepEd para po matulungan tayong makapag-cope sa nararanasan nating pandemya ngayong dulot ng COVID-19. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtutok at pagsubaybay. Muli po ako si Joan Yamado, ang inyong kasama sa pagpapanatili at pagpapalaganap ng Wellness Check na Check. Magandang umaga po. Ingat po kayo lagi.